Hello viewers, welcome to this next session on carboxylic acids. Today's session has been planned. First we will review what we had discussed earlier about carboxylic acids. Then today we will take up substituted carboxylic acids, and amongst these substituted carboxylic acids we will talk about methods for the preparation and properties of halogenocarboxylic acids. Then we will introduce hydroxy acids, and then we will discuss about the methods for the preparation and properties of hydroxy acids, and finally we will summarize our today's work. In our previous sessions we have discussed about carboxylic acids, that these are the organic compounds which have COOH group as the functional group in them. These compounds are acidic in nature. We had discussed their methods for the preparation and their properties. Now, today we will take up that if in the carbon chain to which carboxyl group is attached, if some other group is there like halogen, amino or hydroxyl, then these are called substituted carboxylic acids, and we will discuss that how the presence of one functional group, that is amino or halogen or hydroxyl, affects the properties of the carboxylic acids. In detail we will take up halogen substituted carboxylic acids and hydroxy acids, because amino acids you will study in detail along with proteins. Now, this is an example. When in a carboxylic acid one of the hydrogen is substituted by halogen, we call them as halogeno acids, or in short sometimes called as halogen acids, or even shorter halo acids, but most popular name for these compounds is halogeno acids. If one of the hydrogen is substituted by amino group, this NH2 group here, we call them as amino acids. Amino acids are the building block of proteins, so that is why they are studied in detail along with proteins. Then if there is an hydroxyl group, we will call them hydroxy acid, such as this is a 3 carbon chain acid and this is hydroxyl group. It is present at carbon number 2 of the carboxylic acid chain. We call it as a 2 hydroxy propanoic acid, or it may be present at 3 position, or it may be any other position in the carbon chain. That will take up in the nomenclature of these substituted carboxylic acids. Now, suppose this is any compound with a carboxyl group and then there is a long chain. Now, substituent may be present at any of these carbons. In the IUPAC system, as we have discussed before, this carbon chain is numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4 etc., where the number 1 is given to the carboxyl group. Whereas in the common system, the carbon carrying the carboxyl group is called alpha carbon, and then the chain is named as alpha, beta, gamma etc. after this. So, it is to be remembered that the carbon which is C2 in IUPAC system is alpha in common system. Let us take some examples. This is an halogen substituted acid. There is a 3 carbon chain, so it is propanoic acid, and there is a chlorine present at carbon number 2. So, IUPAC name for this compound is 2-chloropropanoic acid, whereas common name will be alpha chloropropionic acid. Similarly, this is a 4 carbon acid with chlorine at carbon number 3. So, it is 3-chlorobutanoic acid, or according to common system this carbon is alpha, this is beta. So, it is a beta chlorobutyric acid. There is a 5 carbon acid having chlorine at 4 position. So, it is 4-chloropentanoic acid or gamma chlorovaleric acid. So, there may be more than one halogen also, such as in this compound. There is a bromine at carbon number 2, there is a chlorine at carbon number 3, and then there is a methyl also at this carbon number 3. So, common name for this compound is alpha bromo beta chloro isovaleric acid, but IUPAC name will be 2 bromo 3 chloro 3 methyl butanoic acid. So, in this way we can name any substituted carboxylic acid. Now, let us move on to the methods for the preparation of halogen substituted acids. They can be obtained by direct halogenation. We had studied one reaction that is called Hell-Vollard-Zielinski reaction in the properties of carboxylic acids. This reaction involves the halogenation at alpha carbon. So, mainly by this reaction we will be getting alpha substituted halogen acids. This is any carboxylic acid which has 2 hydrogen at the alpha position. It is treated with halogen in presence of phosphorus. First one hydrogen may be substituted, and if halogen is in excess, then second hydrogen may also be substituted and we may get even dihalo acid, but halogen will be introduced at alpha position. This reaction mainly is successful, we have studied earlier, when halogen is either chlorine or bromine. For example, a propanoic acid, when it is treated with one equivalent of bromine in presence of phosphoric acid, we will get 2 bromopropanoic acid or alpha bromopropionic acid. Now, during my discussion I shall be naming acids somewhere by IUPAC names, somewhere by common names also, because common names for these acids, that is halogen substitute acids as well as for hydroxy acids, are very commonly used. Now, these halogen acids can also be obtained by the treatment with sulphuryl chloride, such as this is propanoic acid, it is treated with sulphuryl chloride. Here a small amount of iodine is used as catalyst. Halogen gets substituted at alpha carbon as well as the OH group of the carboxyl group gets also substituted by Cl, and then this Cl can be replaced on treating with water. So, we can get alpha chloropropionic acid starting from propionic acid on treatment with sulphuryl chloride. Then we can get these carboxylic acids from malonic acids also. You must have studied malonic ester synthesis and S2-estic ester synthesis, but here we are using directly malonic acid where some alkyl may be substituted even before. So, it is some alkyl substituted malonic acid. When this is treated with bromine, it has one more replaceable hydrogen here that will be substituted by bromine, and this on heating undergoes decarboxylation. So, one of the carboxyl group gets decarboxylated, a loss of carbon dioxide molecule occurs and we get a bromo acid. In this method also we will get alpha bromo acids. Then we can get them from the hydroxy acids also. The hydroxy group of the hydroxy acids can be substituted on treatment with PCl5 or thionyl chloride. Here also when PCl5 is used, then acid will also be converted into acid chloride, and this acid chloride can be converted back into acid on hydrolysis with water. So, this hydroxy acetic acid will give us chloroacetic acid. It is alpha hydroxy propionic acid. It is commonly known as lactic acid also. When this is treated with HBr, this OH gets substituted by bromine and we get corresponding alpha bromopropionic acid. Then these halogen acids can also be obtained by the addition of halogen acids to unsaturated acids. Let us say we have an alpha beta unsaturated acid, acrylic acid. So, by the addition of this HBr to alpha beta unsaturated acids, we will get beta bromo acids. By this method we cannot get alpha substituted acids. Addition may be carried out to unsaturated aldehydes, which may be further oxidized to give corresponding acids, such as this is acrylaldehyde. If HCl is added to it, Cl will go to this beta carbon and we get this aldehyde, which on oxidation will give a beta chlorocarboxylic acids. We can use oxidation of halohydrins also. Halohydrin means molecules which have hydroxyl group as well as halogen atom in them, and if this hydroxyl group is attached to some primary carbon, then it can be oxidized to carboxylic acid. So, for example, this type of halohydrin like trimethylene chlorohydrin, this is basically 1, 2, 3 chloropropane 1 all. When it is oxidized, this primary alcoholic group, this CH2 group, OH group will be oxidized to CH2COOH and we will get a beta halogen substituted acid in this case. This is beta chloropropionic acid. Iodo substituted acids, they cannot be generally obtained directly by the methods we have discussed before. They are obtained by using a reaction which is known as Finkelstein reaction. This reaction is used for the preparation of iodoalkanes from chloro or bromo derivatives. So, same reaction is used here. Suppose we have this alpha bromo propionic acid. This bromine can be substituted by iodine when this compound is treated with potassium iodide in presence of acetone or methanol, etc. So, we will get an alpha iodopropionic acid. So, iodo substituted acids are generally obtained by replacing the bromine or chlorine at any position, which are obtained by some other method. Then there is another reaction using Hunsdiker reaction. This reaction also you are familiar, is used specifically for the preparation of bromo derivatives from carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids, they are converted into their silver salts, and the silver salts on treatment with bromine give corresponding alkyl bromides. So, same reaction is used here. What we do here, we take a dicarboxylic acid and prepare a monoester, means one of the carboxyl group is protected as ester, it is converted into its silver salt. Then this silver salt on treatment with bromine in presence of carbon tetrachloride, a loss of carbon dioxide occurs and we give corresponding alkyl bromide on this side, and this side remains ester. So, we get a bromo substituted ester, which on hydrolysis will give us corresponding bromo acid. So, from any dicarboxylic acid we can get corresponding bromo acid. Let us apply this reaction to this compound. This is ethyl hydrogen glutarate, that is half ester of glutaric acid. Glutaric acid is a 5 carbon dicarboxylic acid. This is half ester, on this side it is free acid. It is converted into its silver salt. Then this silver salt is treated with bromine in carbon tetrachloride. This gets converted into CH2Br after the loss of this carbon dioxide. Remember this, in this method one carbon will be reduced in comparison to the total number of carbons which are present in the dicarboxylic acid. Then this now bromo ester is hydrolyzed to give corresponding bromo acid. These are the various methods for the preparation of halogen acids. Now, let us move on to the properties of these halogen acids. As I told you, these compounds have two functional groups, halogen group as well as carboxyl group, and they will show the properties due to both, means they will show the properties like alkyl halides as well as they will show the properties of carboxyl group. We will not discuss the properties in detail because we have already studied separately the properties for these two functional groups. Our main stress will be the reaction which is due to presence of both the functional groups or on the reactions where one functional group creates its effect, such as now in carboxyl group. Carboxyl is an acidic group, such as in chloroacetic acid. It shows its acidic nature on treatment with sodium bicarbonate, gives the sodium salts. On treatment with ethyl alcohol gets converted into corresponding ester. On treatment with phosphorus pentachloride gets converted into corresponding acid chloride, or the sodium salt of the acid and the acid chloride, they react to give corresponding anhydride. So, these are the basic reactions which are given by any other carboxylic acid also. One of the point that we had discussed in detail in carboxylic acids, that was the acidic nature and comparison of the acidic strength. We had discussed there that if a halogen is present in the carboxylic acid, they increase the acid strength because halogens are electron withdrawing groups and they delocalize the negative charge that develops on carboxylate anion, and hence they stabilize it and increase the acidic strength. And more is the number of halogen atoms, more is the acidic strength. Let us take the example with chlorine here. When one of the hydrogen in acetic acid is substituted by chlorine, its pK is reduced to 2.8, whereas pK of acetic acid is 4.7. So, that shows that chloroacetic acid is much stronger acid than acetic acid. Then if one more hydrogen is substituted, pKa value becomes 1.3, and if all the 3 hydrogen atoms are substituted by 3 chlorine atoms, the pK is 0.9. So, this shows that increasing the number of halogens increases the acidic strength. We have also discussed earlier that inductive effect works through the sigma bonds, and the effect falls off dramatically with the distance. Means if halogen is present away from the carboxyl group, then its acidic strength decreases. Such as this is butanoic acid with a pK value of 4.9. If chlorine is present at carbon number 2, 3, 4 at 4th position, then pK is 4.5. If it is at 3rd position, pK value is 4.1, and if it is at position number 2, then pKa value is 2.8. Means more near the halogen, more is its inductive effect and stronger is the acid. Then if in place of chlorine we have some other halogen, that is fluorine, bromine or iodine, then their effect is according to their inductive effect. Such as this is a common haloacetic acid and say this is halogen. If this halogen is fluorine or chlorine or bromine or iodine, then the pKa values are with fluorine 2.6, chlorine 2.8, bromine 2.9 and iodine 3.2. That shows that inductive effect of fluorine is maximum because it is most electronegative atom amongst these. So, fluoroacetic acid is the strongest acid, and electronegativity of iodine is minimum amongst these. So, amongst these acids this is the weakest acid, but still iodoacetic acid is stronger acid than acetic acid because the pKa value for acetic acid is 4.7. Then let us take up the reaction due to halogen atom. The halogen atom is more reactive when present at the alpha position and can be easily substituted by various nucleophiles. Now, why it is more reactive when present only at the alpha position? We can explain it with this structure. This is the carbon on which halogen is there. We have studied earlier that alkyl halides undergo nucleophilic substitution. Nucleophile attacks the carbon carrying halogen and halogen is substituted. And attack of the nucleophile will be faster or easier if this carbon has got enhanced positive charge, and this positive charge gets enhanced by the electron withdrawing groups like carboxylic acid. So, these carboxylic groups, they withdraw the electron, positive charge on this carbon is increased, attack of the nucleophile becomes easier and substitution becomes easier. If this halogen is present at beta or gamma position, then this electron withdrawing influence of carboxyl is not that much and reactivity is just like normal alkyl halides. And obviously, this nucleophile will substitute the halogen and nucleophile will take place. Some common nucleophilic substitution reactions are that on treatment with even moist silver hydroxide, this chlorine can be substituted. Although in case of alkyl halides, if we want to substitute the halogen, we have to treat it with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Then on treatment with silver nitrate, we can get nitro derivative. With potassium iodide, it can be iodo. With potassium cyanide, it can be cyano, and with ammonia, this can be replaced by amino group. These are the usual reactions of these acetic acids. Then action of alkali. This is the reaction where the effect of both the functional group is observed. The alpha halogen acid, as I said earlier, that halogen becomes more reactive due to presence of this carboxyl group and they can be easily substituted by weak bases. So, on treatment with sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate or even with moist silver hydroxide, this halogen can be substituted and we will get alpha hydroxy acids. So, basic reaction is that alpha halogeno acids will give alpha hydroxy acids. If you have a beta halogeno acids, they on treatment with alkali eliminate a molecule of halogen acids taking hydrogen from the alpha carbon and we get these alpha beta unsaturated carboxylic acids. Gamma halogen acids on treatment with sodium hydroxide undergo a reaction in such a way so that we get cyclic esters which are known as lactones. What happens here, that in presence of alkali this carboxyl gets ionized and this negatively charged oxygen, it acts as a nucleophile, attacks this carbon and halogen gets substituted here and we get 5-membered cyclic ester which are known as gamma lactones. Similarly, halogen acids which have halogens after this, that is at the delta position or other positions, they may also give some cyclic esters or otherwise then they simply get substituted by the OH group as simple alkyl halides. Now, next let us move on to hydroxy acids. Hydroxy acids, as I said earlier, are those carboxylic acids which have an hydroxyl group substituted in place of hydrogen in the carbon chain. This hydroxyl group may be present at different position in the carbon chain. Say this is the alpha carbon, and if it carries hydroxyl, such acids are classified as alpha hydroxy acids. If a hydroxyl group is present at the beta position, they are called beta hydroxy acids, and similarly if hydroxyl group is present at the gamma position of the acid, we call them as gamma hydroxy acids, and so on. Alpha hydroxy acids are most important amongst the hydroxy acids because they are present in many of the fruits which we eat, and they are also used in many eatables. This is the general structure for any alpha hydroxy acid. There may be a different carbon chain here, but this hydroxyl is present at the carbon next to the carboxyl group. As I said, most of these alpha hydroxy acids occur in fruits, milk, and in sugarcane also, and they are used in many skin care products, medicines, and soft drinks, etc. Let us take some example of hydroxy acids. This acid, a 2 carbon acid having hydroxyl group, is commonly called glycolic acid and is present in sugarcane and sugar beet. Its IUPAC name will be 2-hydroxy ethanoic acid. It is a 2 carbon acid with hydroxyl group at carbon number 2. This is commonly known as lactic acid having hydroxyl group at carbon number 2. So, it is 2-hydroxy propanoic acid. It is present in sour milk. This is malic acid which is found in apples or grapes, tartaric acid present mainly in grapes, and there are some other hydroxy acids also. These are few examples to discuss. This acid where a benzene ring is there, although it is an alpha hydroxy acid, the hydroxyl group is present on the carbon next to the carboxyl. This is commonly known as mandelic acid. This is an alpha hydroxy acid, but will be treated as aromatic acid. Now, this is another acid which has a carboxyl group as well as hydroxyl group attached to this benzene ring. It is commonly known as salicylic acid. If we count the position of hydroxyl group with respect to carboxyl, it is again a beta hydroxy acid, but it is treated as phenolic acid and not discussed here. Now, let us move on to the methods for the preparation of hydroxy acids. We will take specially methods for preparation of alpha hydroxy acid and then for beta hydroxy acids. Alpha hydroxy acids can be obtained very easily by the hydrolysis of alpha halogen acid. We discussed in the properties of halogen acid that this halogen can be substituted by some mild base by hydroxyl group, such as this is 2-bromo-propanoic acid. This may be treated even with moist silver hydroxide. We will get 2-hydroxy-propanoic acid. We can use potassium carbonate. We can use even dilute solution of sodium hydroxide also. Then by the action of nitrous acid on alpha amino acid. As I told before that alpha amino acids are obtained from proteins and they can be converted into hydroxy acids. This NH2 group can be substituted by OH group on treatment with nitrous acid, that is on diazotization. As you know that aliphatic amines on diazotization give corresponding alcohols. So, here the NH2 group is also substituted by this OH group and we get corresponding hydroxy acids. We can get these hydroxy acids by the control oxidation of glycols. Glycols are the compounds which have 2 hydroxyl groups present in the molecule at different carbon atoms, and one of them which is primary can be oxidized, such as this is 1,2-propane diol. This is a primary hydroxyl group. This can be easily oxidized with dilute nitric acid to carboxyl group and we can get alpha hydroxy acid by this, which is lactic acid in this example. We can get these hydroxy acids by hydrolysis of cyanohydrins, and these cyanohydrins are obtained by the addition of HCN to aldehydes or ketones. This is any aldehyde. If we carry out the addition of HCN, H goes to oxygen, CN goes to carbon. these compounds are called cyanohydrins, and when this cyano gets hydrolyzed, we will get a carboxyl group and we get alpha hydroxy acid in this. So, this method is also very specific for the preparation of alpha hydroxy acid. Let us take an example. Acetaldehyde, if addition of HCN is carried out, we will get corresponding cyanohydrin, and this on hydrolysis gives lactic acid. Methods by which we specifically get beta hydroxy acids, they include the Reformatsky reaction. You have earlier studied Reformatsky reaction. This is a specific reaction given by alpha haloesters. Say here is an alpha bromoester methyl bromoacetate. The reaction is carried out in presence of zinc, and finally they are treated with aldehydes or ketones. Here the reaction with formaldehyde has been shown. This CBr bond breaks, it gets converted into ZnBr, and then this carbon to which ZnBr is attached is an anionic carbon, attacks this carbon of aldehyde or ketone, and we can get these type of compounds here. Here initially it is OZnBr, which on treatment with water is substituted by OH, and we specifically get beta hydroxy esters in this method, and then these esters can be hydrolyzed to give beta hydroxy acids. This particular example leads to the formation of beta hydroxy propionic acid. So, Reformatsky reaction can be used for the preparation of beta hydroxy acids specifically. We can have addition of water to alpha beta unsaturated acids also. These are alpha beta unsaturated acids, and I discussed in the preparation of halogen acids also that when an electrophilic addition to unsaturated alkenes is carried out, to which an electron withdrawing group like carboxyl is present, then addition does not follow the Markovnikov rule. So, similarly in this reaction the negative part OH goes to this carbon, and we get beta hydroxy propionic acid here. We can get this beta hydroxy acid by the reduction of corresponding beta keto acids, but this method can be used even for the preparation of alpha hydroxy, beta hydroxy, or even gamma hydroxy acids. That depends upon the position of keto group in that, such as pyruvic acid CH3CO COOH. This one reduction gives us lactic acid. This CO group, this carbonyl group is reduced into CHOH. Suppose we have ethyl acetoacetate. Now, this is CH3CO, this CO is reduced into CHOH, and then we hydrolyze this ester part, we get carboxylic acid where the hydroxyl is present at the beta carbon, because it was the beta carbon here that was present in the form of carbonyl group. Now, amongst the properties of hydroxy acids, again these compounds show the properties of carboxyl group as well as properties of alcohols. So, we will not discuss those reactions, we will specifically discuss the reaction that is the specific reaction due to presence of both the functional group, and that is mainly the action of heat on this. Alpha hydroxy acids, example is a lactic acid, they give a group of compounds they call lactides via intermolecular esterification. Means what happens, more than one hydroxy acid molecules they react with each other to give a diester like this. When it is treated with acetic acid CH3CHOH COOH, this is another molecule of lactic acid CH3CHOH COOH. On heating, the OH group of one lactic acid molecules with carboxyl group of another molecule, they eliminate a water molecule here, and similarly carboxyl group of this molecule and the OH of another molecule, they eliminate water. So, we get group of compounds which are diesters. These are cyclic compounds, and the compound that is obtained from lactic acid is called lactide, and the class of compound obtained from any other hydroxy acid, they are called lactides. The IUPAC name for this particular compound is 3,6-dimethyl 1,4-dioxane 2,5-dione. Beta hydroxy acids on heating eliminate a water molecule to give alpha beta unsaturated acid. The hydrogen is abstracted from the alpha position. There was a similar reaction in case of beta haloacids also. On treatment with alkali, they lost a molecule of halogen acids taking hydrogen from alpha carbon. Now, why they specifically take hydrogen from the alpha carbon here also and as well as in halogen acids also? One, these hydrogens are slightly more acidic due to the presence of these electron withdrawing carboxyl group. Second, the product which is formed, alpha beta unsaturated acid, is more stable because this pi bond is conjugated with the pi bond between carbon and oxygen. So, this is an extended conjugation and there is some extra stability in that. Then gamma and delta hydroxy acids on heating again lose a water molecule and form the esters, but they form cyclic esters. That is, hydroxyl group and carboxyl group of the same molecule, they eliminate water to give a cyclic ester. Like when it is hydroxyl group at gamma position, alpha, beta, gamma, this OH and this OH of the acid, they eliminate a water molecule and they give this 5-membered cyclic ester called gamma butyrolactone. Similarly, this delta hydroxy acid, it on heating again loses a water molecule and we get delta valero lactone. So, these were the properties, rather I will say the specific properties of hydroxy acid, and I said they show all other properties of carboxylic acid or alcohols which we have discussed earlier. So, let us summarize our today's work. Today we discussed that what type of compounds are called substituted carboxylic acids. We specifically taken halogen substituted and hydroxy acids. We discussed their methods of preparation, then properties, and also methods of preparation and properties of hydroxy acids. In our next session, we will take the detailed discussion of some specific examples of hydroxy acids like tartaric acid, malic acid and citric acid. Thank you.